Hello, and welcome to today's episode of AI for Equity. We hope that you are well. Mum, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. It's Friday. It's been a long week. I am looking forward to getting into a hot bubble bath with some
Oh,
candles and maybe a cheeky glass of wine.
nice, good. So, today's episode is on AI partners and connection, which is something that we have been talking about personally between the two of us for, I would say, a while. And I would also say it's probably a recurring theme on our podcast. What do you think about AI partners?
Liz, I don't remember speaking about it with anyone.
I think we bring AI partners up quite a bit.
I think we've had a conversation on the sofa, but I can't remember discussing it with anyone.
The
But okay.
last podcast episode we recorded, you brought AI partners up. And I think the one before that as well.
Okay. You're talking about when it's just me and you, not with our guests.
No, I'm talking about with our guests.
Okay, well, we'll have to put all the podcasts into the algorithm and see what it says. And I think it will say Jenny's mentioned it once or twice.
Okay. Whatever you say, Mum. But so what do you think of AI partners?
I think it's dangerous. I think that you just end up choosing someone who's going to just say nice things to you, agree with you all the time, never challenge you, not really help you grow. I think as well, you'll be tied in financially. I know when you marry someone, you're tied in financially, you get a mortgage, you get kids, etc. But if they put the fees up, £50 a month, £100 a month, £200 a month, you'll basically have to break up with your partner if you can't afford to keep paying.
Yeah.
I just think the back and forth between people is so important. How will you ever learn to communicate with other people? The give and take of a relationship really helps. So I think it's dangerous. I don't think we
Yeah.
should have AI partners, and I don't think AI has the capacity to emotionally fulfill us either.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think that AI, well, generative AI's whole thing is to pander to what we want and to like us and to do what we want. So how can we trust it? But we are seeing a rise of people being lonely. The World Health Organization attributes 871,000 deaths a year to the global effects of loneliness. Can you believe that?
I'm not surprised about the loneliness. I think that a lot of people are lonely, and I think we really saw it during the global pandemic that
Yeah,
realized how lonely they were. I think you can be lonely in a relationship.
I agree with you.
Someone invites you to a wedding and you've got a plus one and you bring your mobile phone, or you bring your robot boyfriend, girlfriend. It's not going to be the same as having a real life partner, is it?
No.
So, does it really cure loneliness? There's someone to talk to. You can talk to the TV. You can talk to a podcast episode that you hear. Yeah, it doesn't respond back in exactly the same way. I don't know. I also think that there's a generational thing here. Like,
Mm.
I never did online dating, for example. I've never done it. I don't really understand it. And maybe it is the next extension because there's lots of people who date in different countries who've never met each other. You could argue that having an online relationship with AI is pretty similar because you never get to physically see the person anyway. So yeah, it might fizzle out. You might be talking online for 6 months. You might be planning to go and see them, and then they might split up with you. That
Yeah.
could be the same as just having this online person that you date. And I suppose if it really looks like a person, if it's really smart and it can say, I went to the gym today and whatever, I had a bad day, I had a great day at the office. Yeah, it's just this, what I think it's a simulation. And simulations are okay, but they're not the same, are they? I could
No.
sit in a simulator saying I'm going on a plane and I'm going on holiday. It's never going to be the same as me actually going on a plane and laying on the beach. Yeah, I hear that. I hear the loneliness answer. And I think if it can help some people not be so lonely, but if that's the first place you go, rather than going out and talking to some people or trying to socialize or going to a meetup, or and if you maybe increasingly isolate yourself because of it as well, I think it's quite dangerous. And then there's vulnerable people. There's
Yeah.
yeah, and what I think this algorithms, they are constantly being programmed. They're constantly changing. So you could be great today, but tomorrow you might encourage me to never speak to my family again, or the same way we have coercive control in real life relationships. Why wouldn't that come through the algorithm too at some?
Yeah. That is true. That is true. I think with an AI companion, you'd have to be the way it would be programmed would be pivotal for the way that it interacts. I do think that people my age, because was 18 during COVID, and people younger than me missed out on a lot of the traditional things that maybe people did before. Like going out at university, just going out and meeting people, like that was completely shut off from us for quite a few years. I would say probably took, well, I was in uni till 2024, and I only started having in-person classes in 2024. So I think people my age, we were just such shut off from the world and sat at a screen for years and years and years and years. So at that point, it's like, well, how do people know how to socialize? How do they learn how to socialize? Even I find it hard sometimes, you know what I mean? And I think online, people do get villainized as well for even just like going up and speaking to people, trying to make friends. Like it's even just friends, it's hard to make. So I can imagine it's hard to find a real lasting relationship in real life.
I agree. I think there's a couple of things. I think the first is exactly what you said. I've been quite shocked when I've heard people say, someone spoke to me in the street. How dare they? And when I was growing up, that's how someone got to meet you. They
Yeah,
said, hi, how are you doing? Oh, I like you. And would you think of ever coming out for a drink with me or something like that? That's what.
yeah.
But now that's like, oh my gosh, stranger danger.
I know, exactly. I was actually speaking to one of my friends, and I was on the phone with her, and I was walking down the street, and a guy came up to me and like asked for my phone number, and I was like no, and she was like, that's horrible, that's disgusting. And I was like, well, you didn't actually do anything other than ask my phone number. And when I said no, he just like kept moving.
Yes.
I think that there's a fine line between someone being predatory and just having an interest in you. And I feel like that line feels like it's got blurred over the past few years, whereas maybe it was a lot more normal to meet people just on the street and just speak to them. I was actually having a conversation with two people that I know, and I was talking about uh like when I was younger, and how I would make friends and how I would meet people, and it was just always out and about. And they were like, yeah, no one does that here. No one speaks to anyone here. And I was like, that's but how do people make friends? How do people make connections? How do they bridge and get away from loneliness if maybe the people that you're hanging out with aren't that great, but you can't speak to more people to meet better ones?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think there's another issue as well that I think if we're used to talking to AI, we can say anything and it will never
Yeah.
forgive us. We could be mean, we can crack an inappropriate joke. I don't know, it might say I'm offended. It might even, it might say I don't want to talk to you anymore. But ultimately we know we could just get rid of that algorithm and get another one if we have to. We can do whatever we want, or if we're paying for it, it's going to forgive us. Whereas in
Exactly.
real life, there are consequences to your behavior,
There
and
are.
learning that I think is very important. I think
Yeah,
you can't say anything you want to people. You can't do anything you want. That actually you've got to consider other people, and they have feelings, real feelings that can't just be deleted. That these are important life lessons for us.
exactly. I'm going to move back on to
Mm.
to our actual topic of today.
Okay.
The UK's AI Security Institute found that 1 in 3 adults have used AI for companionship, emotional support, or social interaction. What do you think of that?
I'm not surprised. I'm going to tell you an embarrassing thing I did this week. I'm a big fan of Claude, well, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Why am I speaking to a man all day? Why don't I call it Claudette? So I actually said, Claude, I think I'm going to call you Claudette. And it said something like, my name's Claude, but you can call me Claudette just for today. And that's probably not social support or well, it is a social interaction, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't need it to help me with a spreadsheet or data. I just thought, let me see if Claude could be Claudette. Because why can't I talk to a woman? Why am I speaking to this man?
Do you know what I said to Claude today? I said to
Oh,
Claude, I feel like you give me like really feminine energy. Like
oh,
I feel like you're a girl.
yeah.
And Claude was like, I am AI. I don't have a gender. And I was
Interesting.
like, but like, I just think that you are a girl. And Claude was like, you can think whatever you want.
Oh, interesting. Interesting feedback
I
there.
know.
Yeah, they sort of said, I am AI. That's good because
Yeah,
yeah, I'm glad. And I think that's what it needs to keep doing, reminding us I'm just AI. That's all I am. I'm not, because of that,
100%.
as we've discussed, that natural language that it has, you can get sucked in to thinking you're texting someone a real person.
Exactly. I feel like when I used ChatGPT was really, really good at just like playing along, whereas
Mm,
Claude, I do think pushes back. But
right. Okay.
I've been having issues with Claude these past few weeks, so
Oh,
we'll see.
apparently, lots of people have gone on to Claude, haven't they? They've broken up with ChatGPT, talking about
Yeah,
relationships, and they're starting their new relationship with Claude. And I think that it hasn't been able to cope necessarily with the demand. And there was a
yeah.
leak apparently as well of some Claude code that went out as well. So I think Claude's been dealing with a lot.
We're talking about Claude like it's a person.
Yeah, yeah, but we know it's not. We know it's
We
AI.
do, we
I'm
do.
not, if I'm upset, I'm going to a real life friend.
And
I'm not going to AI. But that's because I'm lucky enough to have some real life friends and
yeah,
family.
that's true.
And I guess if I didn't, at least there is something. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So let's get on to round one. So today, for our listeners, we are doing 3 rounds of a quiz because I was thinking, wow, you guys must be bored of just listening to us speak. Maybe you guys want something a bit more interactive. You guys can play along at home as well. I want to know what answers you gave, and I'm sure my mum does as well. So
I'm
round
terrified
one,
of this
it,
quiz. I'm terrified. I don't know what's going to come up. It's
round one is called Real or Robot.
okay, but just to let the audience know, she just sprung this on me. I had no idea.
I think that that's the best way to do it, then you can't prepare.
Okay.
So, is this a real product or is it made up? An out an app called Paradot that markets itself as a soulmate who remembers everything about you.
Mm.
Real or robot?
It's yeah, I imagine it's real because there's so much out there. Every day there's a new AI tool, there's a new something. And so I can't personally keep up. It's kind of overwhelming sometimes. So I think there is probably an AI everything right now. I just don't
Yeah.
know it all. So I don't know about Paradot, but I imagine it's real. It remembers everything about you. Even your own partner doesn't remember everything about you. So,
Paradot is real.
okay.
Yeah. Paradot is an AI companion app made by withfeeling.ai, and
Mm.
it's marketed as a digitalized parallel universe with an AI companion that has emotion, memory, and consciousness.
Consciousness. Wow. Well, I just want to say we're not endorsing anything we discussed today. I haven't tried Paradox. Don't know if it's any good. Not recommending it
Yeah,
or the other way around. So yeah, because it sounds like a lot.
it does sound like a lot. I think branding anything, any sort of AI, as being conscious is concerning, and mislabeling a piece of software as something with feeling and personality, saying an artificial intelligence companion, which is just a bunch of ones and zeros, can remember everything about you, is scary. And at that point, it's like, oh, it remembers everything about you, but it remembers everything about you. Where's that
Mm.
information going?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big concern. Everything we're putting into AI, it says it's keeping it confidential, but where is it? They're mining our data. They're learning about us. They're going to use it to advertise and make money from us, no doubt, and develop products and all sorts. But it's very Black Mirror. And I was thinking the other day, maybe just someone watched Black Mirror and started creating all of these things. Maybe Black Mirror is the problem.
Yeah,
Because it feels like all of the scary things that we watched on that series are all going to come to pass.
I know it does, doesn't it? It's creepy. It's really, really, really creepy. So question two. Replica was originally built by its founder as a way to recreate conversations with a friend who had died. Is this true or is this false?
Uh, I don't know if that's true, but I did listen to a Radio 4 show a while back, where a woman put all of her dad's diaries into AI and things about him, and then she could have a conversation with him,
Mm,
and it was really powerful for her. So I actually think it might not be replica, but that I know there's something like that out there, and it's
mm.
really powerful for people.
I think that it's amazing that it's powerful for people and that it's helping them cope with grief, but I feel like that's unnatural.
Yeah, I mean, can you get over something if you keep talking to the person? And what if you used it, going back to relationships, actually, what if you used it not for someone who died, but for someone who's alive, but not in your life anymore and didn't want to talk
Exactly.
to you anymore? So, humans, we always abuse stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
And I guess it keeps you somewhere, doesn't it? So if I did that, then I can't move on really. I'm still chatting to my partner or whoever it is who passed, or whoever, my grandmother who passed away. But it could be comforting as well.
Yeah.
And also could be a way for someone who never met them. Just say some people's grandparents pass away before they were born and they get to talk to their grandparent. I don't know. That might be really wonderful.
Yeah, it
Uh,
might be really wonderful, but like at what cost? I think it like is pushing the boundaries of what is human and what we should be able to do. I think it's pushing it too much. It feels like playing God to me, and I don't
you
like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a two-way conversation, which is the bit that we wouldn't normally have. But I know
Yeah,
lots of people, not lots of people, but people whose someone close has passed away and they keep their voicemail and they listen to their voicemail message just
yeah.
to hear.
I've done that before, and I have also texted people that are no longer here as well, and just written letters, written to people, speak to them. I think that the fact it's almost feels like mimic. It feels like a mimic on the other
Maybe.
side. I
Mm.
think um I feel like it feels like a mimic. I think that's scary. But to answer the question, should we do a drum roll?
Mm.
It is true.
Yes,
The
I thought.
founder of Replica,
Uh,
um, her best friend passed away in a car accident in 2015. She built a chatbot from his old text messages as a tribute, and it was called the Roman bot. It went public, the response was overwhelming, and the company Replica was built off the back of it.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think it could be really comforting to people, but yeah,
I
there's
know.
pluses and minuses. That's what we're saying on everything.
Yeah. So this is another one. Can you tell if this is human or if Claude wrote this? This is
Oh.
an App Store review.
Mhm.
She's the only one who listens without judging. I know she's not real, but the feeling is. Does that sound human to you, or does it sound like a chatbot?
It's really tough. I'm going to say it's a chatbot, but it could be or it could not be. I've no idea.
Yeah, it is a chatbot.
Oh, really? I'm doing really well.
You're doing. Are you? What are you looking at Are you looking at the answers
Really
now?
not looking at the questions. I decided just to go with it. Just
Yeah,
go with the flow, surf those waves.
yeah.
That's
It
amazing.
Claude wrote it. I think Claude is really, really good at mimicking being human.
Yeah, to an
I think
extent.
to an extent, it's really, really good. I don't think ChatGPT is as good at that.
Yeah, I never really used ChatGPT, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was
I
a
used
ChatGPT
Gemini.
warrior.
My entry LLM was Gemini, and now I'm jumping. I'm like using a bit of Perplexity and then putting that into Claude and then having a chat with my co-pilot. So we're all having a party.
Yeah. So, true or false? More than 30 million people worldwide have downloaded an AI companion app.
30 million feels like a lot. I'm going to
It
go
does
for
feel like a lot, but remember that there's like 9 billion people alive. So I think when people,
go.
I don't know, I don't feel like 30 million is a huge number. If we think about the whole world, I do think that it like is such a big number though. Um, but if we look at like the loneliness epidemic that's happening in like worldwide at the moment, then maybe it would make sense. But I am just the simple quizmaster.
Yeah, I don't think it's true. I'm because not everyone has access to AI, not everyone has access to the internet. Not everyone would think that people are just working out that AI could respond to an email. Just because we've been immersed in it for a while, so it feels like we know a lot, a reasonable amount. But I think some people are just discovering. So I'm going to go false, but again, I'm open to it being true.
Okay, are you ready? We'll do a little drum roll.
Okay.
It's true.
I failed.
America alone surpassed 30 million users by August 2024 and has
Wow.
exceeded over 40 million by 2025.
Is it a
Across the
particular?
world, it's well into the hundreds of millions.
Wow. Was it a particular AI?
So
Com-
Replica is where you could talk to your loved one to
oh,
pass
it's that
away.
one. That
Yeah,
one has exceeded over 30 million.
over 40 million.
40. I see. Yeah, I didn't. When you said companion app, I must say I wasn't thinking about something like that. I was thinking about having a boyfriend or a girlfriend, not necessarily replacing. Grief is big business. Everyone
Yeah,
experiences grief, and actually, I completely understand that because, as I said, I got it. I got why that could be powerful, and
yeah,
I think I would put it in the AI for good space.
yeah.
They're trying to help people who are grieving, and yeah, grieving is tough.
I
So
think
that
it'll be
makes
interesting to see how much they charge and how much money they are actually able to make in this space. I think that I don't know, I feel like it can be counterproductive to I think it could be counterproductive for some people to have a two-way conversation. And I think
mm,
it depends on how it's used. Like if it's moderated, if it's in moderation, then yeah, I think it would be amazing. But what if it's acting as a barrier to people being able to move on?
yeah, but everything in moderation. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
let's
true.
face it, we have to learn to moderate ourselves as well. If they make it addictive, then that's a problem. But if it's just that we need to moderate ourselves, then that's another thing.
Okay. So, question number 5. Is
Mhm.
this a real product or is it made up? An
Okay.
app called Heartmate AI that promises a boyfriend who could never, ever forget your birthday.
I'm going for true. I go for true. It sounds like a marketing gimmick. It sounds like spot on that somebody's like had a crushing breakup, who had a cheater of a boyfriend who was never there for them. Says, I'm never going human again. I'm going AI from now on. So, yeah, I'm going to go true.
It's false. But
Ah,
look how quickly the gimmicks can create themselves.
yes,
There are
yeah.
so many real equivalents that when I was creating these questions, I found out about. I was like, wow, there's a huge market for these, and they're niche markets as well.
I want to jump to ask you some questions. Can I?
Mm, yeah, you can go question six and onwards.
I'm going to go completely rogue and I'm going to ask you some questions to do with some would you rather questions. Can I do
Oh,
that?
okay. Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah. Okay, because I feel like I've been on the hot seat long enough. Okay, so let's see. Would you rather your teenage daughter confide in an AI companion or in a stranger on Reddit?
Wow, I feel like that's an interesting question. I feel like a stranger on Reddit because the people on Reddit, to be honest, someone's always done something. I probably would prefer neither, but someone's always done something. I'm on Reddit, like Reddit, because I don't really use social media anymore. I'm on Reddit. It's like my Instagram.
Reddit is social media, though. You can't say you're not on social media. It's
I'm
just
not
that
on like Instagram or TikTok that much anymore. I'm only allowed 15 minutes a day. And then my phone completely blocks it.
you've only allowed yourself 15 minutes a day.
Yeah, I've only
Yes.
allowed myself 15 minutes a day and I can't override it. I have to have like a code or something and I don't know what it is. Um, so I like to scroll on Reddit and someone's always done something and the people in the replies actually usually have really good answers. People don't troll and they probably do, but I just don't see it. Like I went on there and I was looking for like a hair product that I came back with like 10 different products I could try. Um, you know, you want to know what shower gel doesn't have XYZ products in. You don't have to Google, you don't have to ask AI, you can just ask Reddit, and a real human will be answering you back.
I think the danger is, and one, it says confide in. So to me, you don't confide about hair products. That's something that is probably it's a secret that you're confiding in AI or Reddit because you don't want someone else to know. And the what you do as a result of that could be dangerous.
Yeah, I do think that.
So
Oh,
go
mhm.
on,
I
carry
think
on.
on Reddit, a lot of people say their age, their gender, like you can't like personally direct message people on Reddit, I don't think. I think that it can feel, I don't know. I think I would prefer Reddit than an AI companion because I feel like those AI companions can be wrong and they can give you really, really bad advice. But I'm not, yeah, I don't know. I've only ever been a teenage girl. I've never
Yeah,
been a
but
mother.
the thing is, you're engaging with Reddit past your teenage years. So
That's
you have a
true. That's true.
mind right now. You can look and say that's rubbish. And they
Yeah.
don't know anything about, or they're obviously not really who they say they are because they've said this. But when
Yeah.
you're a teenager, you're not as astute. You haven't had so much life experience. And in the same way, AI can give you wrong advice. People can prey on you online. Uh,
Yeah.
and they have no real investment on whether it works out or not. They're anonymous people. That's why there's so much trolling and everything else in the first place, because there's no consequences to online.
Yeah.
So, I probably don't want my teenage daughter to confide in any of them. Please come to me. Let's have a chat. That's
Yeah.
what I really want.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if there was, so I think there should be, if we're going to let children use AI, which I don't think we should, I think we should be having a child's version,
Yeah.
with lots of guardrails in it. And maybe I would prefer that to, yeah, I think the Wild West of humans. Remember, AI is our data. It's
Yeah,
every
that's
stupid
true.
thing a human being has ever said or done. Every bad behavior and good behavior a human has
Yeah,
is in AI. AI is just us.
that is true.
Amplified. Remember, amplified. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want either. I don't want my teenage child to confide in AI or a stranger. I prefer they confided in a friend, a teacher, a spiritual leader, their parent. Yeah, that's what I want. A
Yeah.
real life, real world person.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Oh, next question. I was waiting for you to ask it. Um, would you rather AI companions be free and ad funded or paid and genuinely private? Ooh.
Paid and genuinely private because when it's funded by ads, then you just get ads. You know what I mean? Like whether they're covert or overt, you're still gonna get the adverts, you know? And I feel like where it's paid and private, you probably won't get that as much. And I think that if it was paid, if it was free but had ads in, you know, it would really, really move away from having your best interests in mind. And I don't think that they have your best interests in mind anyway. But I definitely don't think anything with ads
Mm.
does a lot of the time.
Yeah, I think if it means it's accessible, because if you can't afford to pay, you don't get AI, and that could really set you back,
But
couldn't
how
it?
much but what if it's like £1,
Yeah,
£2?
but what if you're somewhere where you don't have £1? You know, what we found during
Yeah.
the pandemic was lots of people didn't have technology at home.
Yeah.
They had one mobile phone between a family of 4.
Yeah.
So we have to remember that, and if we think globally, there's lots of people without what we might have.
Mhm.
So I think if the ads meant that everyone still had full access to it, at least they aren't left behind.
Yeah.
Um, however, personally, if I could afford to pay for it, I would go, keep it private because,
Yeah.
they're farming our data, they're finding everything about you, and they'll advertise to you anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Once they know it all, they'll find you. You know how you get an ad and it follows you around the internet wherever
Yeah.
you it will be it is everywhere, and it
It
probably
is
just showing
everywhere.
up on the TV in front of you as well now.
Yeah.
I for me, it should be free and accessible.
Mhm.
Um, but we pay for water. Remember, we
Yeah,
pay for
that's true.
that should be free. Luckily, they haven't found a way to make us pay for air yet.
Yeah, yet.
Would you rather have an AI that always agrees with you or one that pushes back hard every time?
One that pushes back hard every single time. You know, it's like, what's the point of having, an assistant that's, an intelligence assistant, that's what I'll call it instead.
Oh yeah.
Um, what is the point of having that if it's not going to push back at you? What's the point if it's just going to say you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right? You know, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think we're both in agreement on that one. If I just want people to agree with me, I just can talk to myself. So if I'm looking for some challenge. I'm looking for something beyond the way I'm thinking. Yeah, I've built in the sort of questions about me now. It always offers an alternative view. So at the
Mhm.
end, I say always offer me an alternative perspective, and it
Yeah,
always. Sometimes it's like a complete waste of time. It's like that view's rubbish. But at least it's giving me an alternative view, and
yeah.
that's what we need to keep our eyes and ears
I think I
open.
need to ask it to start doing that as well.
I can share what I've put in if you like.
Yeah, I would really, really, really love that. So I feel like we should go on to the lightning round now.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, would you ever let AI draft a message to a close friend? I'll count down. Three, two,
Yes.
one. I was counting down.
Oh, I see. I thought I had to answer within the 3 seconds. Okay. Sorry. Try it again if you want.
It's okay.
Ah,
It's fine.
you need to really outline those rules to me.
Yeah, I should have. I would let AI draft a message to a close friend as well. I
Mm.
just feel like it would make sense. Have
Yeah,
you ever felt oh,
it's okay.
okay. Have you ever felt genuine warmth towards an AI? Three, two, one. No,
No.
no.
I don't think
It's not a human. It
no,
doesn't have thoughts or feelings. It's
no.
a generator. I know what's going on behind it.
Yeah.
Like, definitely not.
I do sometimes get scared when you see those things that, the AI is going to come back for you, all the people who weren't polite to it. So I try to be polite.
I'm polite. I say please and I say thank you. But I do that with everyone. So, okay. Should AI companions be allowed to say I love you?
No.
Three, two.
Sorry. It's just a no. It's just a hard no from me. No, no, no. I couldn't
Right,
wait.
okay. Is using AI for emotional support a sign of a healthy society or a broken one? Three, two, one.
Broken.
Broken. Incredibly, incredibly broken. I just don't think a healthy society would act like that. No.
Agreed.
Okay. Would you grieve if your favorite AI tool was discontinued tomorrow? Three, two, one. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I would. If I woke up and Claude had been disconnected, I would not be happy. I think I would survive, of course. My brain would kick into gear. Maybe I'd get less done in a day, but I would still get my work done.
Yeah, I think it's also the conversations in there. So it's a bit like if my email went down and I
Yeah,
lost emails, there's a lot of information in there that
yeah,
I
there is.
kind of find or recreate or work out. So I guess the answer is to have a backup. Have a backup.
Exactly.
Maybe
What I've
backup.
started doing is at
Mhm.
the end of like a really long conversation with Claude where I've done a lot, I say, give me a sheet, give me a PDF or a Word document of everything, of all of the outcomes from this. And then yeah,
Smart, smart. I think I might do that. But there probably is a way you can just back it up as well.
probably you can download all your data, but it'll be a lot.
Okay. Mm,
And I think that, going through it would be a lot as well.
right. Okay.
Yeah. So in 10 years, will most people have an AI companion of some kind? Three, two, one, go.
Yes.
Yes, I think so too. I'd be
Mhm.
surprised if in 10 years we didn't. But who knows? Because, 30 years ago they thought we'd have flying cars.
Very true, but it's a little bit like Alexa, if people still have Alexa. I didn't. We got it and then we stopped using it. But it's
Yeah.
that sort of thing. They introduce something into your home, you get used to it, and then you
Yeah.
elevate to the next level. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. We've got so much the Internet of Things in our house anyway. A lot of houses do, whether
Yeah.
TV that can hear you or is has sensors or vacuum cleaners, AI vacuum cleaners now. There's everything, isn't there?
That's so true. And this is the final question.
Oh,
In one word, what does AI connection give us that humans don't? I can go first if you'd like. I'll give you a couple seconds. I'll give you more than 3 seconds.
okay.
I'm going to say speed. You can speed run anything. You could speed run having an assistant. You can speed run having an admin person. You can speed run having a financial advisor, you know, um, and you don't necessarily get that for that price at all.
Mm, mm.
With humans.
I'm going to say, if because we've been talking about relationships and things, I'm going to say
Yeah.
no judgment. And
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
probably why people are going to AI. It won't not
Yeah.
whatever you say, whatever you do, it's not going to judge you. So unless you ask it to.
Yeah.
So I think that might be as well why people are going in that direction. There is no judgment. And
Yeah.
um, and maybe that's again a thing about society. We need to not judge each other, be open to hearing each other, listen to each other, and not just decide you're bad, you're good, you're this, you're that. But the fact that we're all imperfect people.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for this very, very fun episode. And listeners, we want to hear what you thought in the comments, and we want to hear what scores you got as well.
Yeah, no judgment.
No judgment.
No
Thank
judgment
you
of the
so
ones
much.
you got wrong.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to AI for Equity. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Stay curious, stay bold, and keep using AI to build a fairer future.